Welcome, traveler. Close your eyes or keep them softly focused on the stars drifting by. You are safe here. Inside this ship, protected by layers of titanium and glass, you are separated from the noise of the world. Leave the emails, the calls, and the worries back on Earth. They cannot reach you here. Here there is only the hum of the engine and the infinite velvet night. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. We are going on a voyage to the edge of silence.
Space is often called a vacuum, but it is really a library of peace. On Earth, sound travels through air. It bounces off walls. It demands attention. But in space, there is no air to carry sound. The silence here is absolute. It is heavy and comforting. Imagine a storm on a gas giant raging with winds of 400 miles per hour. If you were floating right next to it, you would hear nothing. The universe performs its most violent dances in total silence. It is the ultimate quiet room for your mind to rest.
Think of our moon. It is a world of perfect stillness. Because there is no wind and no rain, nothing ever changes there. The footprints left by astronauts 50 years ago are still there today, crisp and fresh. They will remain there for millions of years. In a universe of chaos, there are places where time stands still, places where a single moment is preserved forever in the gray dust, peaceful, unchanging, eternal. We are drifting further out now. Behind us lies the sun. Do not think of its fire. Think of its hold. Gravity is often described as a force, but it is really an embrace. The sun holds all the planets, all the asteroids, and all the comets in a gentle, invisible grip. It guides us through the galaxy. We are not lost in the dark. We are tethered. We are part of a great cosmic family, dancing slowly around a warm hearth in the center of the cold night. Somewhere out in the dark floats Saturn, the jewel of the solar system. Its rings look solid from a distance, like a perfect golden disk. But up close, they are a river of ice. Billions of pieces of ice, some as small as a grain of sand, some as large as a house. They have been floating there for millions of years, drifting in perfect unison. Imagine floating among them, watching the sunlight glint off the ice crystals. A slow, silent river of diamonds flowing forever in a circle. Further out, in the deep dark, are two small machines, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. They were launched from Earth in the 1970s. They have finished their mission. They have turned off their cameras. Now, they are simply drifting. They are the furthest man-made objects in history, drifting silently into the space between stars. They carry a golden record with sounds of Earth, ocean waves, thunder, a mother whispering to her child, a message in a bottle floating in the cosmic ocean, waiting for for no one.
Deep in the spaces between stars, there are clouds. Astronomers call them nebulas. They are the nurseries of the universe. Imagine a cloud of dust and gas stretching for trillions of miles. They are not gray like clouds on Earth. They are vibrant, deep reds, electric blues, soft purples. Inside these clouds, gravity is slowly pulling dust together, spinning, heating up, until, in a moment of ignition, a new star is born. Right now, as you listen to this, millions of new suns are waking up for the first time, wrapped in blankets of cosmic dust.
We live in a giant city of stars, the Milky Way. If you could fly above it, it would look like a spiraling pinwheel of light. It is so vast that light takes 100,000 years to cross it. We are located in a quiet suburb on one of the outer spiral arms, far from the chaotic center, safe, stable. Every star you have ever seen in the night sky with your own eyes belongs to this single galaxy. It is our island in the dark ocean.
Far beyond our own galaxy, there is another, Andromeda.
It is our sister, larger, brighter. It is moving towards us through the void. But do not be afraid. Space is so big that galaxies don't really crash. They pass through each other like ghosts. They dance. Billions of years from now, our Milky Way and Andromeda will merge. They will combine into one giant elliptical galaxy, a slow, graceful waltz that takes eons to complete, a cosmic marriage of light. Consider the atoms in your body, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the carbon in your mind. None of these were created on Earth. Earth cannot make these things. They were forged inside the burning hearts of ancient stars that died long before the Earth was born. When those stars exploded, they scattered their gifts across the universe. Eventually, that dust came together to form our planet and you. You are not just in the universe, you are the universe, experiencing itself. You are made of stardust, briefly taking the shape of a human before returning to the flow.
In space, distance is measured in time. Light is the fastest traveler there is, but the universe is so big that even light gets tired. When you look up at the stars, you are looking into the past. The North Star, you see it as it was 300 years ago. The Andromeda Galaxy, you see it as it was 2.5 million years ago. When we look up, we are time travelers. We are surrounded by the history of the cosmos, old light washing over us like waves from a distant storm that ended long ago.
Think of the Earth hanging in the blackness. We are lucky. We float in what astronomers call the Goldilocks zone. Not too close to the sun, where water would boil. Not too far away, where water would freeze. We are just right, a tiny oasis of blue and green, protected by a magnetic shield, warmed by a steady star. In the cold, indifferent universe, we have a home, a cradle of life, drifting safely through the dark. What holds it all together? We cannot see it, we cannot touch it, but we know it is there. Dark matter. It is the invisible ocean that galaxies float in. It makes up most of the universe. It passes right through you, right now, like a ghost. It is the silent skeleton of the cosmos. Without it, the stars would fly apart. The universe is held together by something we can't even see, a mystery that keeps us safe. As we continue our drift, the stars seem to slow down. The engine hums its steady lullaby. There is nowhere to go, nothing to achieve. The universe has been here for 13 billion years. It will be here for trillions more. It is in no rush, and neither are you. You are part of this timeless cycle, drifting, floating, sleeping. Let the gravity go. Let the thoughts go. Just drift. Let us drift further out to the edge of our own neighborhood. Past the giants of gas, we find the giants of ice, Uranus and Neptune. They are silent blue sentinels guarding the exit. Uranus is a pale blue pearl spinning on its side. It is a world of secrets. The atmosphere is calm on the surface, but deep inside, there is an ocean of water and ammonia. Some scientists believe that on these planets, the pressure is so intense that it rains diamonds. Imagine that. Millions of diamonds falling slowly through the thick blue air, settling into a sparkling ocean forever in the dark. Beyond Neptune lies the Kuiper Belt. This is the home of comets, dirty snowballs of ancient ice left over from the birth of the solar system. They float here in the absolute freeze, waiting. Sometimes gravity nudges one, and it begins a long journey towards the sun. As it gets closer, the ice melts, creating a beautiful tail of gas that stretches for millions of miles. But out here, they are sleeping, silent mountains of ice drifting in the dark, preserving the history of our beginning. It is cold here. Absolute zero is the temperature where all motion stops. Space is very close to that limit. But this cold is useful. It preserves things. In the cold of space, chemistry happens slowly, but it happens. Complex molecules, the building blocks of life, form on the surface of dust grains. The cold is not empty. It is a laboratory, quietly working, quietly building, waiting for a spark. For thousands of years, humans looked up and wondered, are we alone? Now we have answers. We know that nearly every star in the sky has at least one planet. There are more planets in the universe than there are grains of sand on all the beaches of Earth. Think about that scale. Infinite worlds, infinite possibilities. We have found worlds that defy imagination.
There is a planet called Kepler 16b where you would have two shadows. It orbits two suns. If you stood on its surface, you would see a double sunset. One red star and one orange star sinking below the horizon together. There are planets covered entirely in water, global oceans that are hundreds of miles deep. No land, just endless blue waves. There are planets that are locked in place, one side always facing their star, burning in eternal day, the other side frozen in eternal night, and in between, a twilight zone where life might exist. But the most precious worlds are the ones like ours, the blue marbles. We have found Earth cousins, rocky worlds, sitting in the warm zone of their stars. We cannot see their surfaces yet, but we can dream. Are there oceans there? Are there clouds? Is there someone else sitting on a hill, looking up at their night sky, wondering if we exist? In the silence of space, the connection is not physical. It is a shared curiosity. If you could step back and see the entire universe at once, it would look like a web, a cosmic spider web of light. Galaxies are not scattered randomly. They are strung together along invisible threads of dark matter, great filaments of light stretching across the void. It looks remarkably like the neurons in a human brain. The universe has a structure, an architecture. It is vast, but it is connected. The universe is old, but it is also patient. Stars like our sun will burn for billions of years. But there are other stars, small red dwarfs, that will burn for trillions. Long after our sun has faded, these little red stars will still be shining. They are the future of the galaxy. They burn their fuel so slowly, so carefully, that they will outlive almost everything else. They are the dim candles that will keep the darkness away for eons to come. As we drift, remember that you are made of atoms that have traveled billions of years to be here, to be you. For a brief moment in eternity, the universe has woken up and is looking at itself through your eyes. Your worries are small compared to the galaxy. Your problems are temporary. The peace of the stars is permanent. Let the vastness comfort you. You don't need to do anything right now. You just need to be, drifting, breathing, sleeping. Let us travel inward now, moving away from the quiet outer arms of the Milky Way towards the center. Here, the stars are packed closer together. The night sky in this region would be blindingly bright, filled with millions of suns. And in the very center of it all sits the giant Sagittarius A star, the supermassive black hole that holds our galaxy together. It is a sleeping monster, 4 million times heavier than our sun. But it is not destroying the galaxy, it is anchoring it. Just as the planets orbit the sun orbits this center. It takes our solar system 230 million years to complete one lap around this center. The last time we were in this position, dinosaurs were just beginning to walk the Earth. We are travelers on a carousel that spins incredibly slowly. Now, imagine looking away from the center, out of the galaxy entirely, into the deep intergalactic space. Most of the universe is not stars, it is the void between them. There are regions called supervoids. Imagine a space so empty that if you were floating in the middle of it, you would not see a single star in any direction, just perfect, absolute blackness. The Boötes void is one of these places, a sphere of nothingness, hundreds of millions of light years across. It is the loneliest place in existence. But even there, in the dark, there is energy, vacuum energy, seething quietly in the background. The universe breathes even where there is no light. Consider the light that hits your eyes. A single particle of light is called a photon. Its life is a strange journey. It begins inside a star. For thousands of years, it is trapped inside the star's core, bouncing around, trying to escape. Finally, it breaks free from the surface. It shoots across space at the speed of light. It passes comets, planets, and asteroids. It travels for minutes, years, or millennia without hitting anything, until finally it ends its journey on the retina of your eye. That tiny spark of energy traveled all that way just to be witnessed by you. And in the moment you see it, it vanishes, absorbed. We are the final destination for the light of the stars. We often think of space as dry and rocky, but the universe is actually full of water. It is floating in vast clouds of vapor between the stars. There is a cloud of water vapor discovered in deep space that holds 140 trillion times more water than all the Earth's oceans combined. A floating ocean larger than a solar system. Water is the second most common molecule in the universe after hydrogen gas. Ice coats the dust grains in nebulae. Ice creates the rings of giant planets. The universe is not a desert. It is an archipelago, islands of rock floating in a sea of invisible mist, waiting for the right conditions to rain down and create life. Let us listen to the rhythm of the galaxy. Scattered across the sky are dead stars called pulsars. They are the remains of giant stars that collapsed but did not vanish. Instead, they became incredibly dense. A teaspoon of a pulsar would weigh as much as a mountain on Earth, and they spin. Some spin hundreds of times every single second. They shoot beams of light across the universe like cosmic lighthouses flashing in the dark. They are so precise that they are more accurate than any atomic clock humans have ever built. If you were lost in deep space, you could use these flashing stars to find your way home. They are the GPS of the galaxy, ticking silently for millions of years. Look at a ring on your finger or a piece of jewelry. The gold and platinum we value so much have a violent history. Ordinary stars cannot create gold. Even exploding stars cannot create enough of it. Scientists now believe that almost all the gold in the universe comes from a rare event called a kilonova. This happens when two neutron stars crash into each other. In that split second of destruction,
They release so much energy that they force atoms together to create heavy metals. Clouds of pure gold dust, larger than planets, are thrown out into space. Eventually, that dust settles on young worlds like Earth. So every piece of gold you touch is a relic of a cosmic collision that happened long before the solar system existed.
We feel like we are sitting still, but we are moving at incredible speeds. Earth orbits the sun. The sun orbits the galaxy, but the galaxy itself is also moving. We and thousands of other galaxies around us are being pulled towards a mysterious point in space. Astronomers call it the Great Attractor. We cannot see what is there because it is hidden behind the dust of our own Milky Way, but we can feel its gravity. It is a giant river of galaxies flowing through the universe towards a hidden ocean. We are drifting on a current that is hundreds of millions of light years wide, heading into the unknown together. The space between Earth and the sun is not empty. It is filled with a rushing stream of particles called the solar wind. The sun is constantly breathing out electricity. If this wind hit Earth directly, it would strip away our atmosphere, but we have a shield. Deep inside Earth, churning liquid metal creates a magnetic bubble around our planet. When the solar wind hits this bubble, it is deflected. The energy flows to the north and south poles, creating the aurora borealis. Those beautiful curtains of green and purple light are actually a battle. It is the visible sign of our planet protecting us, turning a deadly cosmic storm into a silent light show.
Most planets we know orbit a star. They have a sunrise and a sunset. But there is another kind of world, the rogue planet. These are worlds that were kicked out of their solar systems billions of years ago. They drift alone in the eternal night. There is no sun to warm them. Their surfaces are frozen solid, but they are not dead. Under thick layers of ice, some of them might keep their internal heat, drifting silently through the void, passing between the stars like ghosts. Astronomers estimate there might be billions of them, more wandering orphans than there are stars in the sky, silent travelers in the dark.
On Earth, we are used to red sunsets, but on Mars, the sunset is blue. Because of the fine red dust in the Martian atmosphere, the red light is scattered out, allowing only the blue light to penetrate near the sun. If you were standing in the red desert of Mars right now, watching the sun dip below the horizon, you would see a cool, calming blue twilight, a familiar color in an alien world.
Let us travel 40 light years away from home to the constellation of Cancer. Here, orbiting a star much like our own, is a world of incredible value. Astronomers call it 55 Cancri E. It is a super-Earth, twice as wide as our planet, but 8 times heavier. On Earth, the ground is made of silica and rocks, but this planet is different. Because it formed in a cloud rich in carbon, and because the pressure there is immense, the entire crust of the planet has crystallized. Scientists believe that a third of this planet's mass is pure diamond. Imagine a landscape not of dirt or sand,
but of glittering, translucent crystal. Valleys and mountains made of the hardest substance in the universe, catching the light of its nearby sun. A treasure chest floating in the dark, untouched by human hands, shining eternally in the void. Physics is a set of rules, but in deep space, gravity can bend those rules until they seem impossible. Consider the planet Gliese 436b. It is the size of Neptune, a giant of gas and fluid. It orbits incredibly close to its angry red star. The temperatures on the surface soar to over 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Logic tells us that any water here should boil instantly into steam, but it doesn't. The gravity of this planet is so crushing, so powerful, that it forces the water molecules to stay together. It compresses the steam into a solid state known as Ice 10. This is a world covered in burning ice, hot to the touch, glowing with heat, yet solid as a rock. Clouds of steam rise from the surface, creating a tail like a comet as the planet circles its star in a paradoxical dance of fire and ice. We look at Mount Everest as the ultimate peak, a challenge for the brave. But on Mars, Everest would be a mere foothill. Rising from the dusty red plains is a volcano called Olympus Mons. It is the largest volcano in the entire solar system. It stands 16 miles high into the thin Martian sky. That is 3 times the height of Everest. The base of this mountain is so wide that it would cover the entire country of France. If you were standing at the summit, you would technically be in space. The air is so thin there. And because the mountain is so vast, the slope is gentle. If you stood at the bottom, you couldn't even see the peak. It would be hidden beyond the curve of the planet. It is a silent, sleeping giant, resting under the pink sky of a rusty world. We experience the universe through sight. But what if we could smell it? Space itself is a vacuum, but it is not chemically empty. Astronauts returning from spacewalks often report a distinct, strange odor clinging to their suits when they re-enter the airlock. They describe it as the smell of hot metal, seared steak, and welding fumes. It is the smell of dying stars, the byproduct of high-energy combustion. But deeper in the galaxy, it gets stranger. In the vast dust cloud at the center of the Milky Way, astronomers have found a molecule called ethyl formate. On Earth, this chemical gives raspberries their flavor and rum its smell. So in the heart of our galaxy, amidst the black holes and radiation, there is a giant floating cloud that smells faintly of rum and tastes like raspberries. At the edge of our system lies Pluto. We have known about this little world since 1930, but Pluto moves so slowly and its path is so wide that since the day humans discovered it, it has not yet finished a single lap around the sun. 1 year on Pluto lasts 248 Earth years. It is a world of permanent twilight. From the surface of Pluto, the sun is just a very bright star in the sky. It provides no heat. The mountains are made of solid water ice as hard as granite rock. The snow is made of frozen nitrogen. It is a quiet, lonely sentinel at the gates of the solar system, slowly making its way through a winter that has lasted for centuries.
Take a moment to feel your body sitting in the chair. You feel still, grounded, but this is an illusion. In reality, you are a passenger on the fastest vehicle ever made. The Earth is spinning on its axis at 1,000 miles per hour. At the same time, we are orbiting the Sun at 67,000 miles per hour. And our entire solar system is orbiting the center of the galaxy at 500,000 miles per hour. Since you started listening to this track, you have traveled thousands of miles through space. We are never in the same place twice. The universe is a constant flow of motion, and we are simply riding the wave, protected by the bubble of our atmosphere. The universe is full of radiation, which is just a form of energy wave. Sometimes these waves behave like sound. In the Perseus cluster, 250 million light-years away, there is a supermassive black hole. It is sending out pressure waves through the hot gas surrounding it. Astronomers have analyzed these ripples. They are singing a note, specifically a B flat, but it is not a note you could ever hear. It is 57 octaves lower than middle C on a piano. The frequency is so low that one single sound wave takes 10 million years to complete. It is a humming drone, a cosmic chant that has been playing in the dark for 2 billion years, keeping time for the galaxy. Nature usually prefers circles and spheres. Planets are round, orbits are ellipses, but on Saturn, there is a mystery that defies logic. If you fly over the North Pole of Saturn, you will see a storm. But this storm is not round. It is a perfect hexagon, a six-sided shape, wider than 2 Earths combined. The winds here blow at 200 miles per hour, turning sharply at the corners of the hexagon. It is a massive geometric structure made entirely of gas. It changes color with the seasons, from a deep blue to a golden haze. Scientists are still trying to understand it. It is a reminder that the universe still holds secrets that our mathematics cannot yet explain. We look at the night sky and see it filled with stars. But this is only a temporary view. The universe is expanding. Space itself is stretching out in all directions. Every second, the galaxies are moving further apart from each other. Billions of years from now, the other galaxies will have moved so far away that their light will no longer reach us. If humans or anyone else are alive then, they will look up and see nothing but their own galaxy. They will think the Milky Way is the entire universe, alone in the infinite black. We are lucky to be alive in this era, the era of light, the era of connection, before the great cosmic drift separates us forever. Let us talk about density. In our daily life, we know how heavy things are. A stone is heavy, a feather is light. But deep in the cosmos, matter behaves differently. When a massive star dies, it collapses inward. It squeezes all its mass into a tiny ball called a neutron star. This city-sized ball is so dense that it defies comprehension. Imagine taking a single teaspoon, just a small silver spoon from your kitchen, and imagine scooping up a tiny bit of this star matter, just enough to fill a sugar cube. On Earth, that single teaspoon would weigh 1 billion tons.
That is the same weight as Mount Everest. All of that mass, the rock, the ice, the sheer weight of a mountain, compressed into a space smaller than a dice. It is a reminder that space is not just empty, it is intense.
For 300 years, humans have pointed telescopes at Jupiter. And for 300 years, Jupiter has looked back at us with a giant red eye. The Great Red Spot. It is a hurricane of epic proportions. You could fit the entire Earth inside it and still have room for Mars. It has been raging since before the United States existed, since before the telescope was invented. But nothing lasts forever, even in space. Astronomers have noticed that the storm is shrinking. It is getting smaller. The winds are changing. Like a tired giant closing its eye to sleep, the Great Red Spot is slowly fading. In our lifetime, or perhaps the lifetime of our grandchildren, it may vanish completely, leaving Jupiter's surface striped, calm, and eyeless once more.
Let us fly to the rings of Saturn again. Hidden among the moons is a world called Titan. It is the only moon in the solar system with a thick atmosphere. If you stood on the surface of Titan, you would see a hazy orange sky, and you would see lakes, great calm seas stretching to the horizon. But this is not water. The temperature here is nearly 300 degrees below zero. These are lakes of liquid methane and ethane, and sometimes it rains. Thick, slow drops of liquid gas fall from the orange clouds. They fall in slow motion because the gravity is so low. It is a silent, alien weather system, raining fuel onto a frozen world, creating rivers that flow into silent, dark oceans.
Here is a strange secret about the vacuum. On Earth, if you hold two pieces of metal together, they stay separate. This is because there is air and oxygen between them. But space is a pure vacuum. There is no oxidation layer. If you take two pieces of clean, polished metal in deep space and simply touch them together, they will fuse. They will instantly become one solid piece of metal. The atoms do not know they are different pieces. They think they belong together. This is called cold welding. It is as if the universe wants to be whole. If you remove the barriers, the separation vanishes and things return to unity without any heat or fire.
There is a psychological shift that happens to astronauts. They call it the overview effect. When they leave the atmosphere and look back at Earth, something changes in their minds. From space, they cannot see borders. They cannot see wars. They cannot see politics. They only see a fragile blue ball hanging in the endless, hostile black void. They see how thin the atmosphere is, like a delicate skin of an onion, protecting every living thing that has ever existed. They return to Earth with a deep sense of sadness and love. They realize that we are all crew members on the same ship, drifting together through the night. Space is cold, but there is a place that is colder than space itself. 5,000 light-years away lies the Boomerang Nebula. It is a cloud of gas expanding so quickly at 300,000 miles per hour that it freezes itself. The temperature there is 1 degree above absolute zero. Absolute zero is the theoretical limit where all physics stops, where atoms stop moving. This nebula is the quietest place in the universe thermally. It is a ghostly bow tie shape, frozen in a deep, deep sleep, colder than the empty void between galaxies, a monument to absolute stillness.
We think our sun is huge, and it is. You could fit 1 million Earths inside it. But our sun is a grain of sand compared to the true giants. Meet Stephenson 218. It is the largest star currently known. Imagine replacing our sun with this star. Its surface would not just touch Mercury or Venus, it would extend past Earth, past Mars, past Jupiter. It would swallow Saturn. If you hopped in a commercial airplane and tried to fly around this star, it would take you 500 years to complete 1 lap. Flying at full speed for 5 centuries just to circle it once. That is the scale of the monsters that live in the dark.
Deep inside the ice giants, Uranus and Neptune, lies a hidden treasure. These planets are covered in thick clouds of blue gas. But thousands of miles down, near the core, the pressure becomes unbearable. Carbon atoms are crushed together with such violence that they turn into crystals. Scientists believe that it rains diamonds there. Not tiny diamonds, but stones the size of your fist. Millions of tons of diamonds forming in the darkness, falling slowly through the thick fluid mantle. They sink towards the core, creating a layer of diamond icebergs surrounding the heart of the planet. A wealth beyond imagination, buried where no human will ever go. Humanity has been broadcasting radio and television signals for about 100 years. These signals do not stop at the atmosphere. They travel out into space at the speed of light. This creates a radiosphere around Earth, a bubble of human noise 100 light-years wide, expanding every second. If there are alien civilizations within 100 light-years, they might be watching our first TV broadcasts right now. But beyond that bubble, silence. To the rest of the galaxy, Earth is quiet. We have only just announced our presence. Our voice is a tiny whisper, slowly expanding into a very large room.
If you zoom out far enough, galaxies are not random. They form walls. The Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall is the largest known structure in the observable universe. It is a vast sheet of galaxies held together by gravity, stretching for 10 billion light-years. It is so big that light takes 10 billion years just to cross it. To us, living on our tiny rock, the universe feels chaotic. But on the grandest scale, it has an architecture. It is built like a web, huge filaments of light wrapping around giant voids of darkness. We live inside one of the threads of this infinite web. We think of space as black and the stars as white or blue. But if you were to take all the light from all the galaxies in the universe, every star, every gas cloud, every supernova, and put them into a blender to mix them up, what color would the universe be? Astronomers have done this calculation. The color of the universe is not black. It is a soft, creamy beige, like the color of a latte or fine sand on a beach. They named this color cosmic latte. It implies that despite the darkness between the stars, the universe, on average, is warm and bright. We are floating in a sea of soft beige light, diluted by the vastness of the void.
Time is a circle. We measure a year by how long Earth takes to go around the Sun. But the Sun is also moving. It is orbiting the center of the Milky Way. This is a journey of epic proportions. It takes the Sun 230 million Earth years to complete just one orbit. This is called a galactic year. The last time our solar system was in this exact spot in the galaxy, dinosaurs were just beginning to evolve. No flowers on Earth yet, no birds. Since the Sun was born, it has only made this trip 20 times. We are young travelers on a very old carousel. In the tug-of-war between gravity fields, there are quiet spots. Between the Earth and the Sun, there are 5 magical points called Lagrange points. These are places where the gravity of the Earth and the gravity of the Sun perfectly cancel each other out. If you put a satellite there, it won't fall toward the Sun and it won't fall toward Earth. It will just float, parked forever in balance. It is a place of perfect equilibrium, a cosmic eddy in the river of gravity. The James Webb Telescope sits in one of these quiet spots right now, sitting still in the dark, with its gold mirrors open, watching the beginning of time.
When a star like our Sun dies, it does not explode violently. It sighs. It gently puffs its outer layers into space. This creates a planetary nebula. Despite the name, they have nothing to do with planets. They are the ghosts of stars. They form incredible shapes. Some look like giant eyes, others look like hourglasses. But the most beautiful ones look like butterflies. Wings of glowing gas stretching for trillions of miles. It is a peaceful death. The star transforms its energy into art, leaving a beautiful, colorful monument to mark where it once lived.
Look at your hand. It looks solid, but physics tells us a different story. Everything is made of atoms, and atoms are made of a nucleus and electrons, but the distance between them is vast. If the nucleus of an atom were the size of a marble sitting on the center line of a football stadium, the electrons would be tiny specks of dust in the furthest seats of the stands. Everything in between is empty space. You are 99.9999% empty space. The only reason you feel solid and the only reason you don't fall through your chair is because of invisible magnetic forces pushing back. We are ghosts made of energy, pretending to be solid matter.
There is a limit to what we can see. Because light takes time to travel, and the universe has a birthday, we cannot see forever. We can only see as far as light has traveled since the Big Bang. This creates a cosmic horizon, a bubble around us. Beyond that horizon, there are likely more galaxies, more stars, more wonders, but their light has not reached us yet. And because the universe is expanding, it may never reach us. There are parts of the universe that are forever cut off from us, secret worlds that we will never know, drifting away into the eternal silence.
After a star dies, the core remains. It becomes a white dwarf, a glowing ember, the size of Earth, but heavy as a sun. It has no fuel left. It is just slowly cooling down, like a coal taken out of a fire. But space is a very good insulator, like a thermos, so it takes a long time to cool. A white dwarf will shine for billions of years, slowly fading from white to yellow to red. Eventually, it will go dark. It will become a black dwarf, a cold, dark crystal floating in space. But the universe is not old enough for any black dwarfs to exist yet. Every star that has ever died is still glowing faintly. For every particle in the universe, there is a twin, an evil twin, antimatter. An electron has a twin called a positron. A proton has an antiproton. They are identical but opposite. If matter and antimatter ever touch, they destroy each other instantly. They turn into pure light. Scientists believe that when the universe was born, there was equal matter and antimatter. They should have canceled each other out, leaving nothing but light. But something happened. Matter won. One extra grain of matter survived for every billion grains of antimatter. That leftover dust is what made the galaxies. It made the stars. It made you. We are the lucky survivors of a cosmic war. We talked about voids before, but there is one that frightens scientists, the Eridanus supervoid. It is a cold spot in the sky. It is 1 billion light-years wide, and it is completely empty. There are no stars, no galaxies, no gas, nothing. It is too big to exist according to our current theories. Some physicists have a wild theory. They think this might be a bruise, a spot where another universe bumped into ours, evidence that we are floating in a multiverse like bubbles in a bath. And this cold spot is where another bubble touched ours, leaving a mark. Let us end our journey by looking back. In 1990, the Voyager spacecraft turned its camera around. From 4 billion miles away, it took a picture of Earth. In that photo, Earth is not a world. It is a speck, a tiny pale blue dot suspended in a sunbeam. Look at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of lived out their lives. Every joy and every suffering, every king and every peasant, every hero and every coward, all lived on that mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. From out here, the noise of Earth is gone. There is only the silence and the peace of the dot. And now, the engine is powering down. The lights in the cockpit are dimming. The stars outside are slowing to a halt. We have traveled across the galaxy tonight. We have seen the birth of stars and the silence of the voids. But now it is time to rest. The universe will carry on without you for a while. Gravity will hold you safe. The oxygen will flow. The ship will drift. You are exactly where you need to be. Let the darkness wrap around you like a blanket. Close your eyes, drift, sleep. Good night.